Hey folks, welcome to another VR video. As you can see, I'm using a different headset than normal. I'm using my old HTC Vive Pre, and that is because I have these cool new controllers I'm borrowing for right now, the Valve Knuckles DV controllers, which are actually the last prototype of the Valve Index controllers. Index came out this week. A developer friend of mine was gracious enough to allow me to use these. He works on a product called Live. If you haven't tried it, it's an awesome mixed reality program so that you can put yourself in those game worlds. They recently started testing out their 1.0 software, so you can actually use avatars in multiple games, so you can build yourself your own avatar. If you don't have a green screen, you can also use a Kinect to simulate a green screen to remove the background, or you can use the green screen effects that you would normally have with chroma key. But enough about that. Let's get into the Moondust demo. As you can see, my gloves on my hands even say Moondust on them, which is pretty cool. So there are 4 different scenes. I'm going to start with this rocket ship scene over here. And just like the lab, it kind of drifts you into those portals. So as you can see, there's kind of a gritty, fenced-off thing here. These little guys are all over these scenes. Let's see if I can pull one up. So this little guy has a set of headphones and a cowboy hat on, but they're everywhere. Like you can find them pretty. Oh, sorry, man. Oh well. One of the things I'm finding in using these controllers, things are easy to pick up. You just grab them with your hands. I mean, super easy, right? And what you're supposed to do is crush this rock. It then takes the smaller rocks and helps to fuel the rocket over there. So you're squeezing naturally with your hands. The finger tracking I found for myself, because I haven't really figured out the sweet spot on the controllers. Like, here's me putting one finger down, here's me putting a second down, third. See how the fourth one goes here. Fourth, and then thumb. So, it works. Like, I can make a fist. I can even do scissors. So I can do rock, paper, scissors. So I can do all of that. And you'll see that actually when I try another application soon. I grabbed that a little bit too tight and squeezed. But here, let's get this rocket up into the air. And one of the things that I feel is cool about this particular experience, and this is Moondust. This was made in cooperation with Valve, as was the Aperture Hand Lab demo. This, I believe, was actually made by the developer of Vertigo, who works in partnership with Valve. He's working on Vertigo 2. The announcement trailer came out for that. I believe the demo's coming out in a couple of weeks, in mid-July. That rocket is launching off the moon into space. I don't know exactly where it's headed, but bon voyage, sir, or madam. Or blocky. Still not used to the thumb placement. Blocky characters there. So that's about it for this particular portion, but as you can see, you can pick up and squeeze. That's the mechanic that it's going for in this particular demo. Now, each of these does something a little bit different. There's some fine-tuning and some finessing and things of that nature. The one I found the most challenging for me, as I place that here, is this one, where you're squeezing grenades to prime, which, again, takes that squeeze mechanic that we just talked about. But then you have to throw them. And I found myself having a lot of trouble relaxing myself to throw. So as you can see, I'm hitting the red and not the green. There we go. So it takes a few tries for my body to realize, hey, you're supposed to let go of the controller. It's a very strange experience. Now on this one, there's lots of things that you can fine tune. If I turn around here, you can change the gravity of the scene. So go over here. Check this out. So I've now changed the gravity. Let's see what happens. See how it goes much further. It's a little bit less effort. The other thing you can do is actually murder your friends. They just go sailing. Or, sadly, if you forget to ungrip or throw, it blows the dust in your face. This one is really cool. I really like this particular experience, but I think it's time to move on. There's not a whole lot more here outside of, like, there's some skill shots you can do. There's targets all around. There's one way up there, as you can see. But that's pretty much it as far as this particular experience. This is just a tech demo, and I want to jump through the other two quickly so I can get to the meat and potatoes other tech demo that I'm about to show, which is a more recent demo. So let's go into this demo in Moondust. So this is Buggy Buddy. There's an orange buggy, and what I'll do is I'll just actually bring each buggy over to me. Oops, went a little too far. Yo, Buggy Bunny. Oh well, I dropped the controller somewhere along the lines. Oops. Let's pull him a little closer. There we go. So as you can see, this buggy has the Moondust logo on the back now. It's a nice little orange. It's got the little guy driving it. And again, having trouble with letting go of things. It's hilarious. Let's see here. And then the blue buggy, we'll have it come over. And you can't see the character in this one. It's kind of more of a tank also. It's also got that same logo on it. So we're going to drop it on the ground. They kind of course correct themselves usually. This time it didn't though, of course. So we're going to pick up the orange one. And what we're going to do is actually teleport ourselves over here. There's little racetracks you can do. Whoops. And I dropped the controller, of course. So it's just like controlling an RC car. Except, of course, with the gravity of the moon. And I just totally messed that up, so what we'll do is we'll go back this way to hit that one. And this demo is a ton of fun. Actually, all of these tech demos are loads of fun. Whoops. Need to hit those. So we'll come back around. And honestly, I'm just as terrible with a real radio control car as well. As you can see, you can actually take that all the way up if I hit it right. And it'll take you to the finish line. So try one more time. I'm probably not going to hit it right there. Where'd we go? Oh wow. Let's not even bother taking it back up. That was beautiful. That was epic. Get up dust over there. There we go. Ready? full speed ahead. Boom! And we did it, and the car continues to sail out into the atmosphere. It's probably going to crash into the ground in a second here. And that's pretty much how it works. So, that's Buggy Buddy. That is my personal best. Let's exit the race now. And we'll move on to building our own space station. So as you can see, that last one kind of showed you how the sticks work, how the controls work with the Knuckles controllers. So this one, you're attaching components as gently as possible or as firmly as possible. Let's add some solar panels first. First one. Alright. Then let's add one of these doodads on here. And again, it's tricky for me because I don't like where that turned out. I'm used to letting go of a button or gripping things in a slightly different manner than this. So it's kind of trippy to me. So we're going to do directional firing here. We'll do one of these little satellite dish jobs right here. And then we'll kind of Deep Space Nine it. There you go. And then just for fun, we'll put another solar panel on top. Oops. Put another solar panel on top. And that's basically the gist of this one. You're building your own little space station. Let's put it in front of the sun so we get some nice lens flare, right? Nice J.J. Abrams style space station there. And that's pretty much it as far as Moondust is concerned. So Moondust, again, is just taking these Knuckles controllers and mapping them out to your hands. As you can see, a little clunky for each finger until I kind of reset them. But works pretty well. Gives you that hand presence in a slightly different manner, in a little bit better way than Vive ones do, at least. So we're going to go ahead and say goodbye to Moondust now and move into another experience that Valve has created called Aperture Hand Labs. Alright, so now we're going to jump into Aperture Hand Labs. Now this one was done by Cloudhead Games, the folks that made The Gallery. And there's 2 episodes of The Gallery so far. There's also a new game coming out by them that's kind of a rhythm bullet hell type game. It seems pretty cool.
Robot detected. Welcome, robot test subject.
Thank you.
The Aperture Science
redacted
for the
classified
of
word deleted.
You will not be told the purpose of your test today. We will not be told why you are performing them. To preserve the integrity of this triple-blind study, no one involved will have any idea why anyone is doing anything. For the purpose of this classified exercise, your
barbed meat stripping claws
have been replaced with
hands.
Please raise your
hands
up to your
neck-mounted weapons platform.
That's me.
Which, for the purpose of this exercise,
and these ones have the little Aperture Science logo right there, which is kind of cool.
Good. Please exit the elevator.
So to exit, you use the little stick.
Exit the
teleport.
elevator through the open elevator door.
And of course, there's little breadcrumbs and things
Good.
like that.
You are
Danger
now
high
ready to
voltage
begin
symbol.
the hand-assisted, non-verbal
Lots
machine-human
of
communication
handles
training.
and things of that nature.
Please approach the training platform.
Very similar to the look at that
Please
warning
approach
decapitation
the
symbol. So
You
very
have
similar
not
to the
approached
Aperture
the
robot
platform.
repair demo that
It
was
is
in the
front
lab.
of you. Good.
Now we're going to meet some new robot friends. And these kind of reminded me of the slingshot demo. The little portal pores.
Hello, I am Frank, a friendly human. I like you, so I am waving to you.
Hi,
To
Frank.
consummate this wave exchange, raise your hand. Open it, then swing it gently from side to side. Good! We are now bonded in eternal friendship.
Oh man, sorry,
Next
Frank.
exercise.
Sorry. Hi, Alan.
What's gonna happen?
What's gonna happen?
I'm gonna shake my fist, this fist, at you.
Okay.
And there's not a thing you're gonna do about it.
Really?
Shake, 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 shake.
I can do that too.
Oh, now you went and did it, didn't you? Well, guess what, pork chop? Just when you think you got the answers, I change the questions. Double shake, double shake, double shake.
A double shake too.
Deploying next exercise.
So one of the cool things is you'll notice the core also changes hands for each core.
It is me again, Friendly Frank.
Hi,
Were you
Frank.
murdered after I only wanted to be your friend?
I didn't mean to murder
I
you.
clawed my way out of that pit of despair with a singular purpose, to come face to face with you once more and finally exact more friendship. Now,
What?
give me 5.
Oh, yeah, I could do that.
Good. Now, up high.
Up high.
Good. Now for the third in our 4-series high-five panel. Down low.
Deception detected.
What?
Too slow.
I have deceived you. Did you really think Friendly Frank survived that fall? He's
I
dead.
hope
You
so.
killed him.
What?
No, I am Deceptive David.
I feel
Or is
really
it Tim?
bad.
It's not. Or is it? I propose a game of deceit. It is a game as old as hands. A gripping trial of handly cunning called rock, paper, scissors.
I don't notice, but my left hand kind of drifted there a little bit.
On 3. Ready? 1, 2, 3.
Oh, you win.
Paper, you didn't see that coming because I'm that clever.
Let's try
and
again.
I win. Let's go again.
All right, let's go
There's
again.
2 out of 3. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Rock
rocks.
and rock. The deceivers have become the deceived. Ready? 1, 2, 3. You beat me
Yes.
with scissors?
I did.
Ah, you win. Ready? 1, 2, 3. I won. I won.
did.
Master of deception.
So that does change. That particular experience does
Deploying
change as you
next
play it.
exercise.
You can also win.
Been hearing
Win.
a lot of good things about your hands back at the head office. VP of Sales Ted Baker said, Bill, you gotta fly down there and you gotta see these hands. And I said, Ted, you're lying and you're fired. But then I thought, if Ted was willing to get fired over these hands, maybe I better check them out for myself.
I
so
agree.
here I am.
I'm glad
Let's
you're
see 'em,
here.
hotshot. Hold them up.
These are my hands. You like them?
Those are impressive. Gotta shake that hand. Put her there. New
All right,
vice
let's do it.
president in charge of hands. That's right. You heard me correctly. That right there, that was great. If I ask you to gently caress my hand. How about this time, you give me a real handshake?
Okay.
A nice, firm, strong handshake. Really squeeze it. I can take it.
All right, let's do it.
I'm not gonna spare your feelings here.
I'm sorry. I wish I could grab the rest of it with my other hand. It doesn't let me do that, unfortunately. Oh, sorry. Well, there goes that. Alright, so I'm back online here. Looks like an apparition, maybe a ghost, maybe a friendly friend.
Friend. All I ever wanted was your friendship. But instead you threw me away into a bottomless pit. And at the bottom of that pit, among these discarded robots, I found something even better than your friendship. This gun.
Hey.
Now you
Sorry.
have no choice but to be my friend. And as your friend, I want to ask you one last friendly favor. Free me, or I will shoot you. Do you think Frank is bluffing?
I hope Frank is bluffing.
That was merely a demonstration. Do not make me demonstrate
That's
again.
what Frank-
Because now Frank has some sense of how this gun works, and the next time I will not accidentally miss you.
Reject
Now,
it. This
pull
must
open
be
the drawer
me
to your right.
who
and
rejected
remove the
here.
envelope
My
inside.
character. Let's see.
Good. Now tear the envelope open.
Contents. Key absolutely large. Do not
You
stab
cannot
into
reveal the envelope's
eyes.
contents until you have torn it open. This is just inside the envelope is a very, very, almost absurd. Good. Now free me, or so help me, I will. Oh, who is friendly Frank?
So one of the
kidding?
cool things is
No
you can
more
actually open
guns.
this.
I am asking you, as a friend, please free me. Friendly Frank. Your friend.
You can actually make a second key.
In the hole labeled Core Escape to complete Core Escape sequence. Or
So we'll,
place the key in the hole
I dropped the key.
Destroy core to destroy the core.
Friendly
That
Frank was
core
unaware
escape.
that core destruction was an option, and is beginning to regret holding you at gunpoint. Also throwing away my gun.
So I've got
Place the key
core
in
escape.
the hole labeled Core Escape to complete Core Escape sequence. Or
Yeah, it won't let me do both.
The hole labeled Destroy Core.
Let's
Take the moral high ground.
help me escape there, Frank. Oh look, confetti.
Good. And now we can tell you the purpose of this triple blind test.
Oh, good.
Discovering the value of friendship.
You have got to be kidding me. That is not even science.
All the
By
dead
choosing
cores
friendship
just
over the
scattered
very
all
real
around. It's pretty
possibility
funny.
of going to prison, you have passed.
Oh, good.
Yes, we passed.
Test
Go us.
concluded.
Go us.
Deactivating test arena. Placing all robot participants in sleep mode. Thank you for your participation. Goodbye.
Sleep mode. I seem to still be awake. Oh no, he is too.
So, are you in sleep mode?
No.
Friendly Frank is not. How long do robots live? I suspect it might be a very long time. I think this is going to be a real test of our friendship.
I agree. I guess I'm gonna be staring at you for eons, maybe. I don't know. Batteries might die? Anyway, that was a quick look at Aperture Hand Labs, and of course before that we looked at the Moondust demo. Now, both of those are showcases, tech demos for these new controllers, the Valve Knuckles. Or some folks just refer to them as Valve Index controllers. Even Steam now does that. There are other games in the Steam library that fully support the hand controls. A lot of them, though, only support using these basically as a Vive wand or an Oculus Touch controller. There are probably around 30 to 40 games that actually have the full finger tracking and things of that nature. Sometimes you have to go into the game and find the setting. Sometimes they just work. I found that I was very impressed with the Valve Index headset. And these controllers are cool, but there's still some imperfections. The finger tracking, as you saw, isn't always one-to-one and 100% perfect. You really have to dial it in for your own particular hands. This is only my second day using these, and using them works, but I'm finding myself still kind of struggling a bit with them. But if you think back to when the Vive came out and when the Rift came out, you struggled a bit with learning how to use the Vive wands and the Oculus Touch controllers when those shipped. So these are brand new. These are things that have just come onto the market. That means software library isn't 100% supported yet. There's not a whole lot you can do that's different from the other control schemes. In fact, Aperture Hand Labs you can play through all the way up to the squeezing for the grip of the handshake with no issues with the Vive wand or with an Oculus Touch controller. I've tried with both. You can actually remap the controllers to get past that. You can remap the controllers to play through the Moondust demo as well. So these are not really required for anything yet. There is one game on Steam right now, Hand-to-Hand Combat, which absolutely takes advantage of these controllers, uses each of the digits in a unique way. But there are games that have come out that do support this. I'll be playing through a few of them in the next week or so. I've only got these for about 8 days, so I'm going to borrow them, develop some videos, put some stuff out there so that you can see how these work and make a choice for yourself on if there's something that you feel is critical for you. These do retail for around $279, I believe. So after tax and everything, probably around $300 for just these two controllers. They will work with anything that uses base stations. So if you've got Steam VR base stations, either 1.0 or 2.0, with a Vive or a Vive Pro, or possibly you purchase them to work with a Pimax headset, they will work with these Knuckles controllers. Pimax headsets through PyTool have had some complications because as Steam VR updates, PyTool also has to update. So there was a recent driver issue that kind of conflicted that made these not work as well. That I understand has been resolved. So if you've got a Vive Pro or a Pimax headset, you're already using these Steam VR base stations, you can just pick these controllers up. As you can see, I'm using them with a Vive right now. No issues. So if you're interested in just the controllers, that's an option. You can also purchase the controllers with the Valve Index headset. I have been more impressed with the headset, with comfort, with clarity, with the different resolution options, as well as the different speed options. So you can actually run the headset at 80 hertz, 90 hertz, 120 hertz, and 144 hertz. When I got to try the Index for the first time, I tried it at 90, 120, and 144, and could actually notice a difference, which I really can't really tell much of a difference between 60, 72, 75, 80, and 90 on other headsets. So headset alone, again, if you've got base stations and you want to use the Vive wands or the Pimax sword controllers, those work with the Index headset as well, I believe. Again, the Pimax controllers haven't come out yet, so can't say for sure on those. But those controllers and base stations, if you've already got them in your home, headset alone is around $500 plus shipping and tax. And then if you have none of the pieces for the Index, the base stations, the controllers, and the headset come together in a bundle. It's a $1,000 bundle plus tax plus shipping. That $1,000 bundle seems to be shipping a little bit faster for people that are on a waiting list. I am currently waiting for my own headset and controllers. I was on the July 31st mailing for that, so it's very possible it may ship a little bit sooner than that. If it doesn't, by August, I'll probably be a whole new me with no longer a Vive on my head, similar controllers to these strapped to my hands. For now, though, I just want to thank GiantSox from the Live team again for giving me the opportunity to try out his Index, first of all, on the day that it came out, and also loaning me these controllers for a few days. I will be back with more content soon. This week is probably going to be mostly dedicated to using these bad boys here. Actually, I don't know. Are controllers male or female? Hard to say. Until next time, get out there and enjoy some VR for yourself, and thanks for watching.